Hello, Bears fans. The Chicago Bears season is in full turmoil, divided between disappointed expectations and the hope for a turnaround. After a string of painful losses, the team faces crucial challenges before their matchup with the Vikings. The good news is a return of key players like Trey Smith and Tevin Jenkins. But is that enough to overcome the ongoing issues plaguing the roster? One name that has been gaining traction behind the scenes is Trey Smith, star of the Kansas City Chiefs, who might be the reinforcement needed to rebuild the offensive line and protect Caleb Williams. Smith, at just 25 years old, is an elite talent in both pass blocking and the running game. The price? About $74 million for 4 years. But here's the dilemma. The Bears have salary cap space to invest, but are the management willing to take this bold step? This signing wouldn't just be a technical solution, but a clear message that the Bears are committed to building a competitive team. Meanwhile, a mysterious post by Jaquan Brisker stirred up social media. "Evil never wins," wrote the player, raising questions about potential internal issues. Could this be a rant against the coaching staff? Or something deeper, like criticism of how player health is handled? Brisker, who has suffered 3 concussions in 3 years, is an example of how poor decisions can affect both players' futures and the team's overall success. Another point worth noting is Keenan Allen's physical condition, listed in the injury report with an ankle sprain. Even with optimistic statements from the coaching staff, there are doubts about his participation in the upcoming game. And you, Bears fan, do you think Allen should play even if he's not 100%? Finally, with Swift and Jenkins ready to bolster the team, the Bears have a real chance to surprise the Vikings. But the bigger question remains, will organizational issues and lack of clear direction compromise the team's future? It's time for bold decisions and deep changes, because, as we say here on the channel, you can't build a giant on unstable ground. The potential arrival of Trey Smith is seen by many as the light at the end of the tunnel for an offense that desperately needs reinforcement on the offensive line. With Caleb Williams at the helm as quarterback, the priority should be protecting him and opening up lanes for the running game. Smith is a player who could change the game not only for his technical quality, but for the cultural impact he could have on the locker room. He represents the type of signing that gives fans hope and shows that the front office is serious about rebuilding. But for this move to happen, the Bears front office needs to act quickly and decisively. As mentioned, the estimated cost to sign Smith is around $74 million for 4 years, a considerable amount, but one that the Bears can afford, thanks to salary cap space. This is a golden opportunity to show that the team isn't afraid to bet big when necessary. At the same time, the return of Trey Smith and Tevin Jenkins could bring the necessary balance for a more efficient offense in the short term. Even if they're not 100%, both players have the ability to make an immediate impact, whether it's running the ball or protecting Williams in the pocket. The issue, however, remains consistency and the player's physical condition. A healthy and aligned offense is essential for the Bears to get back on the winning track, especially against tough opponents like the Vikings. And while we await developments on the field, the mystery surrounding Jaquan Brisker adds a new chapter to the Bears' drama this season. The enigmatic message "evil never wins" has sparked a whirlwind of theories and raised questions about the atmosphere behind the scenes. If the message is truly a critique of the management or coaching staff, it could point to deeper issues within the organization. Bears fans are, once again, torn between hope and frustration. The next few weeks will be crucial in determining whether the team can turn things around and begin building a more solid future, or if they'll remain stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. Now, we want to hear from you, passionate fans. Is Trey Smith really the missing piece to transform this offense? Do you think the return of Swift and Jenkins will be enough to bring that much-awaited victory against the Vikings? And most intriguingly, what do you think Brisker meant with his message? Share your opinion in the comments and join in on this growing discussion. As a Bears fan, it's impossible not to feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster seeing the team in this situation. On one hand, the prospect of adding Trey Smith is exciting. He's the kind of player who can not only fix the immediate issues with the offensive line, but also establish a winning mentality in the locker room. Caleb Williams needs protection, and Trey Smith would be the foundation for that. However, it's frustrating to think that we're once again relying on a big-ticket signing to fix problems that should have already been solved. As for the return of Swift and Jenkins, I'm torn. Sure, it's great to have them back, but how healthy are they really? We've seen players return early and worsen their condition. And with the season spiraling downward, it feels like we're betting everything on saving something that might already be lost. But as a fan, it's hard not to hold on to that spark of hope that these two might be the spark we need against the Vikings. The Brisker situation, however, is what bothers me the most. His message raises a lot of questions about what's really going on behind the scenes. If there are indeed serious issues with management or player treatment, that's unacceptable. You can't build a winning team without a solid foundation, and that includes respect and care for the players. In the end, all of this leaves me with the same question. How long are we going to live in this cycle of promises, disappointments, and a glimmer of hope? I want to believe the front office will make the right decisions, but I've been burned before.